You're still watching Nile, Cruz, dear viewers, from the heart of the St. Mark's Coptic Orthodox Cathedral in Abbasiyah, Cairo. This great time of year, Christmas time and New Year's time. And you know that Egypt's plethora of historical religious sites, which includes Mount Sinai, along with thousands of churches and mosques, has attracted followers of the world's three monotheistic faiths. The religious tourism is an underexploited niche that, given the right circumstances, could yield a more significant portion of Egypt's tourism revenue. We are delighted to have with us here on Nile Cruise Mr. Emad Nicola. He's a tourism expert, and he's also a member of the chamber, the Egyptian Chamber for Travel Agencies, to talk to us about religious tourism in Egypt. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Mr. Nicola. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And sir, so Egypt, a place for religious tourism for the three monotheistic faiths.
Well, Egypt considered in the whole world that it's the second importance for the religious tourism after Jerusalem. What we have in Egypt when it comes to religion, Christianity or even Islam, we have the more important sites than any other part of the world after Jerusalem. We are now starting to highlight these important sites that we have, and as you said, it is still not in focus totally, but the plan is to be on the spots of the tourism in the whole world, especially the religious side.
Right. The elements, Mr. Nicola, of Egypt's religious tourism, can you talk to us about them in detail, like Mount Sinai, for instance, when it comes to Judaism, like the historic churches and the holy path for the holy trail for the Holy Family. Yeah, and of course Al-Azhar and many other Islamic sites.
As I just mentioned, the sites that we have, well, Egypt is the second country that Jesus Christ visited. He grew up and lived in Jerusalem and in Nazareth and Jerusalem, I mean in this part of the Palestine, yeah. And the only country he visited outside his own country was Egypt. And he stayed almost 4 years here. And we still have the 20-something sites that still has the marks of Jesus Christ in it up till today. The most important is Al Muharrak, Asyut, yes, the monastery there. Why it is the most important? Because first, it's the longest time the Holy Family stayed in Egypt in one area. It was, as we all know, it was moving. The Holy Family was moving always, running away from the Romans. So the only place where they stayed for a quite long time was in Al Muharrak. And in Al Muharrak is where Jesus put his hand on a stone and still have the mark of his hand up till today. So we call it the second holy place after Jerusalem, because there is where Jesus, the kids, first time he prayed was in the area where Al Muharrak Monastery is there now. And we have here in Cairo the St. Mary Church in Old Cairo, where they have also the place where the Holy Family stayed. And it is, at the moment it is, after the geographical changes, it is under the ground with few meters, but you still can see how the Holy Family stayed and lived in a certain small area.
That's in
hiding.
Maadi, right?
No, that's in Old Cairo. In,
Okay.
where is the St. Barbara, St. Mary, and
Okay.
the St. George Church, all these 7 churches next to each other.
We call it. We say it in here, Masr al-Adim.
Masr al-Adim,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And this is very interesting. And of course, the great tree of St. Mary in Al-Matariya, the tree that never dies, because it shaded the St. Mary while she was exhausted from heat of traveling. She stayed under this tree, and from that day till today, over 2,000 years, and tree still there and alive. And even it is proven by science that this tree is over 2,000 years old, just like the burning bush in St. Catherine. It is proven scientifically that it is over 2,000 years old, and it is still alive, green and nice, because these are holy sites. These are not exist anywhere else in the world.
Right.
Only here.
And when we talk about Sinai, and especially about Mount Sinai, we are talking about Prophet Moses and God's a revelation to him there, and so this interest or this is holy for Judaism,
Yes.
Christianity, and Islam.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And there is a copy of the treaty and the what do you
Ten
call
Commandments?
it? No, they where Prophet Muhammad made his protection
Yeah.
to all the Christians in Egypt.
Right.
It's written there at the entrance of the monastery in St. Catherine that nobody touches the Christians, save them, save everything of the
Free
churches.
worship. Yeah.
They can pray wherever they want. And there is where you find the first symbol of harmony between religions. Is the mosque inside the monastery of St. Catherine,
Right.
small mosque there for the Muslims to pray, and the monastery is there, and the importance, the high importance of the library in St. Catherine. It has significant things that does not exist in the whole world, only there. So in Egypt we are number 2 in everything. When it comes to religion, we are number 2 in Christianity, as we said. Jesus just the only country he visited. Moses came out of here, and Prophet Muhammad, ادخلوا مصر إن شاء الله آمنين, is
Right.
the first. He mentioned Egypt in Quran.
Right. 5 times.
Exactly.
So, Egypt, Mr. Nicola, aims to incorporate the trip by the Holy Family into its global religious tourism map. How far do you see this as helping Egypt's tourism industry?
I'm very much optimistic because what's happening these days is very, very important. That finally the authority and the country, by all its forces, is supporting the Holy Family route, tourism route, and the Holy Family sites in the whole country. This we were like struggling years and years ago to convince the old governments that, hey, we have a treasure here, we have to benefit from it. Nobody was listening actually. Now they are listening, and they're listening very well. And the improvement of the sites of the Holy Family route is amazing everywhere. Wherever the site that the Holy Family visited now is where the country is taking good care of it. Now we start to advertise to the whole world that come and see. This is the second holiest place in the world on earth for Catholic and Christianity, all of them. And this, believe me, the day we will be ready and advertise and marketed the idea very well, we will not be able to accommodate all the demand that we will have from the whole world.
Mr. Nicola, also concerning Jewish religious tourism, do you believe that Old Testament sites that dot the Egyptian landscape should be included in the Holy Land tours?
Yes. Well, we are three religions that believes in one God, and those three religions has roots in Egypt. We do not differ between Christians or Muslim or Jews. They're coming to worship, they are welcome. They are coming to visit their holy sites, they are welcome. Maybe because we don't have a lot of Jewish sites that they might be interested here, but we still have some spots that, yes, they will be interested to visit and they are welcome.
Sure. And Cairo is known to be the city of 1,000 minarets. I'm sure now it's not just 1,000, it's like tens of thousands. So would you shed more light on the most important mosques in Cairo that are to be visited by tourists?
Of course we
even
have.
for non-Muslims, of course.
Yeah, of course we have the number one site in Egypt for Islam is Amr ibn al-As mosque. This mosque is the first mosque in Africa, and it contains stones from every part of Egypt. They collected stones from every to build this particular mosque, and it's still as it is since it was built, I believe, in 1,200 years ago. So it is significant sites. First mosque in Africa, first mosque in this part of the area, and from there Islam start to spread to the whole Africa. So, and number two is, as we always say, that the Egyptian Muslims, they are Sunnis with a mood of Shia, because we have Al al-Bayt, the mosques for Al al-Bayt, and they are buried here, and they have the holy spots for them. So for Islams, we have Al-Hussein, Al-Azhar. There is no two Azhars in the world, just one Azhar that the whole Islam, the whole world respect, and it is the place where all the Muslims look at when anything happens in the world. They look at Azhar first.
The moderate voice.
Exactly. Yeah. Look at the Azhar, what they will say, what they will do, because the Azhar is known to be the moderate voice of Islam, the reasonable voice that we all listen to, even if we are not Muslims. So Azhar, Amr ibn al-As, Al-Hussein, Al-Sayyida Zainab, Ibn Tulun, Al-Rifa'i Mosque. Al-Rifa'i Mosque is an amazing building. It's a beautiful building. When it comes to seeing it as a monument out of religious, it is fantastic. Like one of the world best mosques that people should see. All the foreigners, wherever they're religious, they go and see Rifa'i ibn Tulun mosques. It was so beautiful construction that maybe very rare in the world to find similar.
Right. Mr. Nicola, tell me about your wishes for religious tourism in Egypt and for the tourism industry in general for the new year.
Well, I always wish the best for my country. I'm very happy that we are back on track in the travel business. Our country is almost full and everywhere. Upper Egypt, Cairo, Hurghada, maybe Sharm el-Sheikh a little bit is shaky, but it's not bad. It's still not full, but doing 60–70%. That's good for now. But now we cannot find a room in Cairo, the whole Cairo, until Ramadan. From now to Ramadan, full. We cannot find a room. Upper Egypt, the same. So in tourism in general, thanks God, we are back on track. we are we cannot find time and space for the demand that we are having now.
Good to hear.
Yeah, it is beautiful. We suffered for 2 years, so two and something. So
Yeah, the
it's about
coronavirus pandemic.
yes,
Yeah.
Corona made a great effect, and the whole industry all over the world, not just in Egypt. For the religious, we have now a committee that working on the whole project when it comes to upgrading the areas for visits, making it proper for visiting, because some areas are really in the middle of a common people area. Need to be cleaned, decorated, bathrooms, make it ready for visits. So it is. The government is working very well on this area now, and the committee is working very well on marketing the area and telling the world that we do have these sites in Egypt. Come and see it.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Emad. Nicola, a tourism expert and member of the Egyptian Chamber for Travel Agencies. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Pleasure. Merry
Thank you.
Christmas to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dear viewers, please stay with us here on Nile Cruise. We'll be back from the Coptic Orthodox Church in Abbasiyah shortly.